What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of the Rakish Rovers. My name's Tom Quinn, resident dungeon master right here at Modern Myth. And I know that's not why you guys are here. You are here for these lovely people right here. Say hello to the beautiful people at home.
Hello, beautiful people.
Excellent. I think we're going to dive right into it if you guys don't have any precursor.
I want to roll some dice, son.
All right.
We need to do everything possible so that he cannot roll dice.
Oh.
The battle has begun already.
Yes.
Battle
with myself.
We're gonna jump right back in. Last episode, we left off the Rovers along with the remainder of the crew of the Tempest, having made their way into the canyon, anchored up, and began their investigation of a mysterious vessel that they found also anchored further into the canyon. After investigating the Condor, they found a number of suspicious elements that kind of have them scratching their head. They have returned back to the Tempest with one of the survivors of the Condor, as well as a bit of information. They have received their orders from Captain Draco to push on, scout a route that might lead them to these wyvern eggs, but first make sure that the hold of the Condor has been secured, and we're going to jump right back into it. So that's where we'll pick up on the deck of the Tempest. The world is yours.
All right. Is there anything we need to go do before we take off for the cargo hold?
I just need to make sure survivors secured.
All right. Let's go check on.
You can see that Fillion, who has kind of assumed custody of this figure, has already led him over. He's kind of sat him down in a relatively shaded area, and he's attempting to administer water. But much like you guys saw on the deck of the Condor, despite his circumstances, he seems to have no impulse to eat or drink when they're offered to him. But he does seem to be in care of Fillion, who is a surgeon, by the way. So, yeah, I mean, he's...
Well, Fillion, what is your take on this gentleman? I mean, he's severely emaciated. It's surprising to me that he's able to walk.
It's going to take more time for me to assess him. But yes, at first glance, he kind of leaning and trying to do what he can to remove this figure's earshot from the conversation, and you can tell that it probably doesn't matter. I'd be surprised if he lasts the night. So, and you can see, kind of turning back, he just kind of has the man's hand, and he's kind of patting it. He has an old kind of tattered rag that he's wet down, and he's kind of cooling the man off a bit. You can see that likely would be perspiring in the midday sun if there was any moisture for his body to secrete now. And you can see that again, just glancing him back over, just skin pulled so taut to bone that, I mean, you can see divots, like his nose, which had previously been broken, still has this kind of sunken character as everything's kind of pulled tight. In some regards, it looks a fate worse than death, potentially, because despite he doesn't seem to be in any particular agony, he's just so withered in this form that what could drive a person to not avoid this when all of the resources are available is concerning.
Can Cal walk up to Bob and, please, Illustrate, if any affliction lays upon this man, remove him. And he'll do lay on hands for 5 points. So okay. Poison or disease.
As you lay your hands on, kind of a light silver pulse emanates outward, fading slightly as it courses over his body. And you can see kind of momentarily as he's kind of still rubbing kind of bleary eyes, which set deep in the sockets. He kind of glances up at you, and you can see silhouetted against the sun. Thank you. He kind of crumpling back. The first intelligible interaction, though as you kind of watch this energy course through him, there does not seem to be any immediate feedback, but kind of in the first moment that you see some slight recognition of the world around him.
Did he seem to like get healed at all, or was it just something else? Okay.
Kind of squinting against the sun, he kind of curling back in, and you can see that Filion continues kind of cooling him, and he kind of slowly goes back into the rock that Aster had observed.
Kel will reach into his bag and grab an extra holy symbol and put it around him. May Illustrate watch you.
Okay. The is hanging it around his neck.
Yeah.
It hangs so low on the chest, given that there's almost nothing for it to. And it's something akin to like if you were hanging it around your own wrist, as it and it kind of nestles into the groove where the kind of just below the sternum. You can see he kind of glances down at it and just kind of toys with it momentarily, and then kind of becomes distracted by the visage of his own hand and kind of weird.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't
Do you think I should try healing him again?
I don't know.
Maybe we should look for more clues or examine
Yeah, we need to
the
go to the
others.
ship anyway. Yeah, we can check out the dead bodies.
See if
See if we can do anything about this. But I don't want him dying if he's this close to death.
I mean, I will do everything within my power to see to his condition, but there's a point where if he will not eat or drink, I mean, his affliction is not should not need medicinal care. He simply needs to sustain himself. And
Have you ever seen anything like this, Villian?
I think the gods that I have not.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go check out the cargo hold.
Allowing
Yes.
them to pass me, fill in a quick word.
Of course.
As you're caring for him, if you do step away, will you make sure that you secure him in the hold, just in case, since his behavior is entirely outside the scope of someone.
Yes, he does not seem to even have the most basic faculties by which to maintain his own safety. I will likely remain with him for the time. I think that would be best.
Yes, and if you need to step away, if you would secure him in the hold. My concern is if he gets out and something bad happens, that the crew is safe.
I will see to that.
Thank you. All right. And I'll follow behind.
Cool.
Heading off the ship, as you guys now heading down a gangplank that has been deployed from the vessel, so no longer having to leap over the rail or clamber up. This plank that leads down as you plant your feet onto the canyon floor once more, begin heading out. Y'all be safe out there. Things get too hot. You know where we'll be.
you do the same.
You can see kind of situating his hat a little lower down, and the rays of the sun now you can feel there's an oven-like characteristic as the canyon begins heating up, where kind of just this hot air begins kind of nestling down into the canyon, and you're beginning to feel kind of the stifling heat, despite the fact that the air is quite crisp. Just the proximity to the sun and kind of the radiation off of the rock faces themselves. You begin making note.
As they're walking away, Kel will put on his whistle, and he'll be, "Hey, Captain, if we're in trouble, we'll blow on this 3 times." And he'll blow on the whistle.
Okay.
Which hopefully is pretty fucking loud.
Excuse
me, pretty freaking loud.
A
Just got demonetized. I'm sorry, guys.
Come on. We were so monetized up to that point. No, a kind of a high pitch. It's not a dog whistle per se, but it's up in a really high range. And,
Right.
and you get the sense that it would, especially in this canyon. You've already heard the way in which that horn and drums carried down the length. As far as long range audible communication,
Pretty solid.
You're feeling really good about
Good.
your ability to communicate. The captain gives you a nod and turning back. All right, boys, I want 2 men. One on the bow and one on the stern. Keep an eye east in case we get any of these boarflies coming our way. He turns and continues just
Okay.
doling out orders as a few men begin getting things together.
All right.
And you guys are...
Should I give a whistle? We all have whistles. I gave it to you, like. And
Oh, you mean our rape whistle?
Our rape
gift
whistle.
Sets? Yes.
Would
yes.
you like me to? Should I give one of my whistles to Draco, and then that way he can call for us if he gets attacked with warflies?
I mean, I feel like they're pretty well stocked as far as
Okay.
God.
All right.
But
Well, then let's go check out a cargo hold.
Let's do.
Okay, heading
To
off
figure this out.
in the direction of the Condor.
Yeah.
let's do it.
As you head off that way, clearing the first few arches and coming back out into the opening where the Condor is tied up, your head suddenly crane upward as you can hear kind of a scratch and scurry, and you see kind of not large, but let's say a few inches in diameter, a few kind of pieces of shale kind of clattering down. And give me a perception check as you glance up that way.
Not too shabby.
You probably have expertise. If you have expertise in perception,
I do.
God.
I was like,
22.
Yeah, 17.
24.
All right.
We were on it.
As your eyes crane up, you see kind of just clearing. You can see an upper ledge that where the rock is crumbling down from. Your eyes craning up, you can see kind of a almost serpentine movement. Just the last bits of something kind of dip up and around and out of sight.
A wyvern.
As a few of those pieces of rock kind of clattering down, fracturing into smaller pieces on the ground in front of you.
Did the movement remind me at all of what I've seen of Xerxes and Kali? Or is it something else entirely?
Now you haven't seen them out and moving around. They've been
Sure.
in their cages. So, it certainly could have been, but
Okay.
But based on kind of you literally are just, your brain is doing what it can to take the periphery of what you saw and turn it into something. And the first thing that comes to mind is serpentine, something moving in that kind of serpentine, whether it was something's tail, whether it was some kind of creature, whether it was a tentacle, but you get this sense of this kind of serpentine movement pulling up and over the ledge. But after a moment kind of hanging there and watching upwards, you don't hear any further sound.
All right. What'd you see?
Nothing that I could describe.
Was it something?
Definitely, we need to keep our eyes.
I tell you what, how about if you guys check out the cargo hold, I'll stay on the deck in case we get ambushed.
Yeah, in case and maybe you'll see.
And I'll
this
send
creature.
Gwen down with you.
Okay.
Pushing a little further forward up and back onto the deck.
I take the block action.
When in doubt.
When in doubt.
Kel posting up now. Are you actually on the Condor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm on the Condor, he went down and I'm posting up at the door.
Okay. Posting up, kind of standing guard, shield kind of raised and at the ready, and glancing around. The two of you head down below and make your way where?
Into the cargo hold.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looks the same though, right?
Well, yeah. Did we leave the bodies? Are they?
The bodies are still down
Um,
in the main salon area. The presumably captain's body is still back in captain's
Have we
quarters.
inspected them thoroughly? Have we investigated the bodies?
Yeah, you gave them a medicine check and checked their pockets and
Okay. No immediate.
effectively
reason for their death.
Yeah, effectively determined that
No bite marks.
that
Have
they're-
they been scavenged at all? Do they have evidence of being scavenged?
they do not. You don't see any marks that would indicate certainly the board
Why would
flies.
the boar flies not attack these guys as well?
Well, they have no meat on their bones, really. So.
Um,
I'm not there. Shit.
We'll move into the door where the cargo is, the cargo hold.
as you push down, there's another small, very kind of rudimentary set. It's about 3 steps down. You have to duck under a beam that kind of makes up that lower bulkhead. And as you duck under that space, you enter the hold. And you can see that, while not overflowing with cargo, they seem to have, a stock of, any number of crates and barrels, and the hold is not empty by any means.
The closest barrel, am I able to pry it open and see what's inside?
Walking up to the barrel, you give it a quick pry, and you can immediately tell that this has been engaged with at some point. This is not it was not sealed down tight. And as it pops open, looking down, that you can see some kind of milled grain, kind of coarsely milled, almost like a steel cut oat or something like that. And probably about 2/3 of this barrel. And there's, again, without opening them, it'd be hard to say, but you can see in this area, there's probably another 6 barrels or so.
Can I make my way towards the back and just sort of shake and try to move them just to see how full they are?
Okay.
All the crates.
Yeah. As you move through, kind of shuffling them around, you get the sense that there are a couple that are towards the front that are lighter. Many of them seemed to be full. I mean, as you go to move it, it would take all of your strength to tip the thing over. Meanwhile,
I don't know what the airflow is like in here, but would there be can I see if there's a layer of dust, or has this ship been here a while?
So down below, you don't see much by way of dust, though. You did make note when you first boarded the ship that some of a number of the components clearly had kind of just suffered some wear and tear from sitting. It was kind of beginning to fall into dereliction.
Would
down
that
here in the
lead me to know kind of how long it's been sitting this way?
That would be really hard to say, especially not knowing, if the wind tears through here at 80 miles an hour part of the year.
Yeah.
But looking things over, certainly down below here, the cargo hold that you're seeing mostly seems intact. And honestly, if you didn't know better, you could be standing in the cargo hold of the Tempest in terms of,
fresh.
there does not seem to be any substantial accumulation of dust.
Mhm.
But again, this is a pretty enclosed area.
For crew that died, as far as we can tell from lack of consuming food, there is plenty here.
Can I I'd like to kind of spend some time and cast detect magic and
Okay.
see if I could. I'd like to look around for sure, but I would like to see the food too, look at the oats.
Okay.
And just kind of get a lay of the land.
As a spell slot.
I'd like to do it as a ritual if there's
Okay.
time.
And that's your guys' call. I believe it's 10 minutes.
I'm
so.
taking the time.
Yeah. So while she begins kind of pushing her way through and kind of doing a manual investigation of that space, you kind of sit down and begin prepping to tackle that from maybe a different angle. As you were doing that, roll a die 20 for me, sir.
18, son.
I can never tell.
I know,
Yeah, I thought that was a bad thing.
I know,
Like,
right?
Yeah.
The
I was just
initial-
proud of myself.
It was good thing it was a deception check. 'Cause-
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, since I have control of Gwen, can I make her do stuff?
Without being,
We have telepathic communication.
Yeah, I mean, I'll grant that. She intermittently, I'll just say intermittently, you get, we'll call them still frames of the space. Her inclination to just stream,
Yeah, it
you
would
know,
be bad.
in full 4K, back to your mind is, I mean, you've just always found she's got this cat-like aloofness with regard to, you know, that she certainly can, but kind of you get these little bits and snippets. Most of what you're getting kind of in your mind, the olfactory centers of your brain are firing off, and her smell is a lot better than yours is.
Which is exactly what I was going to ask her to do. Is like, well, can you use your sense of smell to try to find anything?
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a perception check for her. And
thank God it has it. That's the reason why I did it. It's advantage on it.
I'm actually going to remove that advantage. It reeks in here of death and puke and decay and just all grossness.
Gwen sniffs the air, then immediately has to go up to the deck above and starts puking.
She's full on hairballs. She's all.
Because I rolled a crit miss.
All 8 pieces out.
It's like a 6-minute ordeal.
Yeah.
She,
So yeah, I like that. She has to get out of there. It's too gross.
yeah, she pulls up and you know as you're sitting there kind of trying to concentrate, but she's kind of having this retching fit beside you.
Now I'm gonna have
You know
disadvantage
that
on
as she's kind of doing
Hairball.
it and pacing around the deck, and you know when it finally comes, it's going to be on your boots. You know that's
Damn it,
that's
Gwen.
what's happening.
Every time.
No, but she makes a kind of a hasty retreat. She kind of opens up those senses and really starts using them. This flood of just again decay and
Okay.
waste.
I tried.
As you continue through the 10 minutes rolling up, what boom, the world kind of blooms into this iridescence that you've come to lean on. And I will jump right back to that in 1 second because Kel, your neck cranes upwards for a second time, and this time you can see up on that same ledge, quite a ways over, not where you had seen it before, but up that same height, you watch as a pair of eyes kind of gleaming as this head just peeks over, and you could see just sitting there, kind of almost cat-like, quite clearly a wyvern. You can see perched, its head kind of lowers, and it lowers itself flat to the rocks, and you watch as that kind of cobra-like hood flattening out, and as it presses itself down on the rocks, it's pretty impressive how well, I mean, you know it's there because you've seen it moving it, but it really impresses upon you kind of how well adapted these things are for this space.
Right.
But you watch as it kind of sits there. Occasionally you'll see kind of just the flit of a tongue, and this is quite a ways away, but the two of you kind of hold contact in a proper like original Predator fashion, albeit this one's visible and not using a cloaking.
What's here?
But you can see it's and it's probably 120 feet away or so. So it's quite a ways up. I would say a good 60 or 70 feet higher in elevation. And
How could I tell the size?
based on the head, it's hard to say. I would say not dissimilar from Kali in size.
Okay.
But
Kali, was that they're
The
both
female.
females?
no, Xerxes is a male.
Yeah.
So probably male.
Similar in size to Kali.
So it's larger.
Which is the female.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. If I have an action or anything I can do, but I know it's like
You can do whatever. I'm the world is yours right now. So
Kel will cast protection from poison on himself.
Ooh.
okay.
And he'll turn around. Guys, we may have company.
You hear that echo from up top just as the world is blooming into light. Was there anything else that you wanted to do before I
Block action, tunnel fighter. I'm gonna do everything.
Okay. You kind of fully poise up. Shield comes up, the spear down in position. And it kind of as your eyes narrow over the top of the shield at this thing, you watch as kind of the slightest kind of creep forward, shuffling along the rock, and it goes completely motionless and just holds, those kind of the sliver of those eyes just barely glinting in the sun as it looks down on you. Jumping back, as I said, the world blooms to light, though.
As we hear this, though.
Yeah, you watch as she kind of finishes that ritual out and begins getting to her feet, and that's when you hear Kel's call echo from up top.
Okay.
I'll check on it. You stay here. I'll let
Okay.
you know if it's dire.
All right. I can send Ollie too.
Okay. So
I'll
get over here, you
Yep.
pseudo dragon.
Ollie kind of leaping off and
Oh God!
grabbing onto your shoulders. You feel a course of blood begin pouring down your back.
Jesus.
No,
I have
as,
to lay on
you.
hands just to cure them
as,
all.
I'm
as
glad.
Ollie leaping onto you. It's right about that time as you break on the deck that you watch a kind of a looking a little green Jenny, kind of her head rearing up, and you can see kind of a pile of slop sitting there on the deck. She looks
Is it on his boot though?
a little. You can see some of it definitely got on his
Nice.
boot, and you didn't even notice. I mean,
No,
you were so
I'm
locked
focused,
in
yep.
that
Yeah.
kind of like she notices long before you do. But you can see a little bit sheepishly. She kind of, and then she does that weird like cat leg out, like. No, she as you break back onto deck, you can see that Kel doesn't acknowledge your presence at all. Kind of, it's one of those moments. I equate it to like if you're ever out, I don't know, in the ocean. If you drop your hat in the water, you know if you look away, you might not see it again. Trying to look back, and you've kind of honed in. You guys have locked in on each other.
I'll approach and put my to his right, put my hand on his left shoulder. What do you see?
Going by the clock. I don't know what 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1:30, where it's at.
Relative to the ship or to you?
To me, facing forward.
If you have kind of squared up to it,
Yeah.
then you can kind of draw a line up the cliff. Even now, though, it's one of those things where you're going to be able to point at it,
Yeah.
and it's going to be until it moves again. She may have a real
So
hard
yeah,
time.
I guess Kel can just point his spear at where it's at.
And using that guideline, am I able to see anything?
Give me a perception check with
With dis-
advantage.
Advantage?
Advantage? With the point?
If you're looking down the length of his spear,
Oh.
that's a pretty solid guiding line.
Right.
I'm
That's okay.
giving it to you now.
Okay, no, it's okay.
Yes!
And
We beat the TEM.
Damn
But
it.
He gave it to me.
I
he can give it
actually
to me
meant for it
anytime.
to have disadvantage, but he was giving advantage.
Advantage,
to that,
so-
You already
Oh,
said
so
it.
cancel
You already
that.
said
Do-
it.
You've already rolled two. Take two.
okay.
I love my DM.
Do you? It's a
What do you-
love-hate
rules
relationship.
in my
Let's
favor?
be honest. It'll be a 24. It's perception, right?
Yep.
24 again. Yep.
Looking
Nice.
down the length of the spear, you stare, and I mean your eyes are just scanning the top of this cliff for probably a minute as you're going back and forth. And again, you kind of passing over this space back, and you're kind of like you could see where the spear is pointed at, and you see a blink just for a moment. You watch as the eyes kind of flit out. That little glare flits out of existence. And kind of at that moment, and you can't really make out its form at all, but then suddenly you go, oh, like, I see you now.
Okay.
And it's in that exact moment that you hear the, and from behind, a litter of something comes tearing across the deck, and I need a deck save from both of you guys.
Ooh. Another girl.
And I have the block action, correct?
You
do have a
do.
block action.
Yes! And you are within my aura.
I am in your aura.
So remember
Those
that.
are-
Fucking paladins.
Fucking paladins. They're amazing.
Oh, I know.
Let's see.
So there's just like projectiles,
Oh,
or
that's not good.
we can't tell yet.
Well, you can't tell at all.
I have no
Oh!
idea. Well, do I hear
Did
it?
you roll well?
Nice. 19.
You will, yes.
Nice.
I'll give you that.
So,
Okay.
yes, plus 4 is 24. Oh, I get it. Well, I don't need it. So, yeah, I got 23.
So I rolled a 4, but I have a 10, so it's 14 for me.
Okay.
I'm dexterous.
You hear from below deck, and you guys kind of hear, you have to full on swing the shield looping down and slamming down. Right as it does, you feel riddling along the bottom of it and up the shield, a run of just quills scattering
Oh, I
themselves
wondered.
across the deck.
Yep.
And you kind of bracing, you could feel, and as you kind of recoil or uncoil from that, you look down, you can see just a scatter of them along the deck, and glancing over, you can see, roll a die 4 for me, Kat.
Hmm.
I don't like that.
Oh. Oh.
4.
You look over and you can see that 4 of those quills have planted themselves.
Well, hold on.
Me?
Into
Well,
Katarina.
hold on.
Oh. She might have abilities. We don't know.
Just things.
Trying to
Okay,
think.
I won't know until you tell me damage with evasive.
Well, you failed. You failed the save. So
Right. So, but it's only half damage.
I don't believe that's.
When you're subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dex save to take only half damage instead. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you fail, it doesn't.
Got it.
It's
Yep.
only on the 16th day.
It's a new ability.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
How much?
For 10 piercing damage,
And some poison, right?
and here is. I need a con save from you.
Plus
please.
4.
This is going to be a big
Plus 4.
deal. This is going to be
Plus
a big
4.
You got
deal.
this. You got this.
It's
Not great.
teaching time.
It's
folks.
teaching time. That's
This
it.
is how poison works.
Well, so 4 from you.
Yes.
So 14.
Ooh.
It's not great.
Oh, it's a
That's
lot of dice.
damage
That's a
right
lot of
there.
dice.
For 18 poison damage
Oh.
Can I use my reaction to half that?
with your uncanny dodge,
Uh-huh.
I don't believe that is.
You look up the wording.
Yeah, that's that's the attack. Like
Yeah,
you
not
could
the
have
poison.
had
Oh, before the
actual
damage.
piercing.
Right, the team
Understood.
piercing. I agree with you.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the poison
Okay,
is.
so that was 18.
So 28
Does she have like?
damage.
Is she poisoned now?
and you are poisoned.
Okay. Poison.
So that is disadvantage on attacks and skill checks.
Okay. Oof. On attacks and skill checks?
Yep. And kind of looking over, you can see that these quills are between, call it 6 inches and 6 and 10 inches. You can see a few of them kind of jutting out of her shoulder. She did her best to kind of cut behind you.
Right.
And you watch as you whipped around, you've seen this cascade of quills. As the shield comes down, both of you kind of glancing up in that direction, and you can just see kind of the bat of wings as this kind of arcing back up, probably 50, 60 feet overhead now, as it loops back and kind of goes roosting on a perch on the opposite side of the canyon. You
That
can
was
see,
all from the one.
Mhm.
Fuck.
and you watch as it
A
kind
poop.
of lands, the frill splaying out, and you can see kind of this very audible hiss kind of rings out in the canyon. You can see the tongue kind of jutting out, and you can see the frill is kind of actively splaying out, bright colors kind of underlying it in this kind of aggressive or defensive
It was only the one.
posture. Well, as you winged
Damn
back to the one that
The
that
other
you
one's
were
gonna make an
watching,
attack.
So it's just this is a clever girl moment right here.
Yes, this is
got
like
clever
clever.
girl.
You got clever girl.
as you winged back to the one you were watching, your eyes scanning.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Either she's moved and is gone completely incognito.
Mhm.
I'll take a perception check from either of you.
You have
Logan,
expertise.
yours would be at
But I'm
disadvantage.
at
I will
disadvantage.
take it then.
Am I? No, it's okay.
And you can almost immediately.
Witness me!
Did you crit?
Yes!
Nice.
Sorry.
What's the?
He
20 plus 4. 24.
But you have seduced a wyvern before, so I mean, you
If
kind of
I
have
could
eyes.
talk to it,
You're getting
With
the
help.
sense
With
that
I have
these
like
are the
this-
perfect hunters. This kind of. I don't remember if that was the
oh
Phraseology.
yeah, it was you're the perfect hunter. You're so beautiful.
yeah.
But no, rapidly and
Do you
kind
have a
of
range on talk to
frantically now
animals?
scanning
Oh, right.
the cliffside. You again either this thing is hiding that well, or it has departed.
Mhm.
But immediately you get a sense of the intelligence and the
Right.
you get the sense that you are not the predator in this
Right,
space.
10-4,
The
good buddy.
one still kind of on the far side, flaring, continues to put on this kind of presentation of you need to leave here now, or we're gonna have problems. On that, we're gonna pivot back to Aster.
You have ideas? I have ideas.
Yes, I would love to know what I
I'm gonna
see.
give that a shot. See what happens.
Glancing around the
Well,
We'll
maybe
keep
when it
it-
gets to
We'll
direwolf.
keep it PC.
glancing around the cargo hold. Nothing immediately jumps out at, and basically you can see the cargo hold at large and the crate that she has opened.
So no food, no
parts
cargo
of the
hold.
barrel.
Okay, so I have limited time. Can I look at the bodies? Are there
Back up on the deck, or
they're
up
on the deck? I thought they were at the bottom of the stairs.
They're at the bottom stairs of the main salon. You guys are in the actual lower cargo hold.
I see. Okay. And I looked at the grain.
Looking over the grain that she had opened up, you don't notice anything of a magical nature.
Can I run a quick perimeter check, just kind
Of
of
the cargo hold?
weaving the boxes?
Give me an investigation check if you're moving through that space.
Let's do this. Move. Hey, move.
9. On the
Okay,
die.
that's terrible. That's really bad. It's 15.
As you move through that space, there's nothing that jumps out at you from a magical sight perspective, and there's really nothing that jumps out at you as being off. I mean, clearly they have been storing rations and goods down here, but nothing jumps out at you as
Okay.
you're moving through the cargo space.
Quickly, can I move to that floor where the bodies were?
Yep. Yeah, as you move back up and come through the main salon, immediately as you kind of crest that space, you can see that both of the bodies have kind of a shimmering iridescence to them. And you can see that there's some trace enchantment arcana on these bodies.
Trace, as in I can tell that it's ebbing, like it's
Whether it's
faint.
it's not a bright signature that's screaming at you the way that if someone was actually conjuring a spell in their hand, you'd almost need to shield your eyes from
Gotcha.
the intensity of that. But you can see that there is some arcane implications on these bodies, and that is of the enchantment.
And there's nothing else in the room. Nothing.
Glancing around the main salon.
Are the cabins or at least the captain's area on the nearby? Can I check
You
that?
can continue straight forward to in fact the door that Kel busted down still hangs open. So
Yeah. While I have it, I just want to buzz through. Is anything standing out?
as you push back in, you notice something that you didn't before. It actually is on the captain. And it seems to glow faintly. It seems to glow with a transmutation signature, and as you
I'm not touching it, but I'd like to see what it is.
so it's tucked down in his pocket. You can just see kind of the slightest glow off of the
Can I rip one of his shirts off out of his closet and pull it out in through the shirt?
as you pick it up, you can see it is a small compass.
Can I bundle it up and take it with me?
Absolutely.
Anything else apparent?
Nothing else stands out as
Cool.
being
Am I
magical
here?
interest.
At what point of this do they get have I heard anything yet, or am I still?
Oh, upon kind of starting to go through, you could hear the of
Shit.
something running along the deck, and this is
Ollie, what's
following
going on?
Kel's shout, and Ollie kind of begins rattling some information back, and you can see that kind of through that link a kind of a frantic glancing from one hillside or cliff face, I should say, to the other, and you can feel a little bit of kind of adrenaline pumping.
Can he smell them?
He would need a perception check, but I don't believe that the pseudo dragon has. I know original Ollie
Has
does.
has advantage.
I don't think pseudo dragons.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, what he does have.
It does not. It's just
Yeah.
Well,
Pseudo
okay,
dragons
so,
are awesome though.
so he has just regular perception. Let's do.
Probably.
Well,
plus,
for a
but-
pseudo dragon, we need a fun dice.
Need something
We need a little fun
fancy.
dice.
Where's my
boy.
pseudo dragon dice?
as she's
Pseudo dragon.
rolling for Ollie, is there anything that you guys want to do? You can see the scare tactic presentation, whatever this wyvern is doing from the top of the cliff, looking down on you, begins to subside, and you can see it's kind of starts lowering itself to the ground, still watching you very intently.
Mm-hmm.
But
You got this, Kel.
So get it clear. Is it like a cabin that has a door and then it has like a staircase down?
yes, the companionway.
Cal will close the door and
Okay.
he'll lay on hands.
Oh, I was just gonna go down there and just take these out. It's fine. You don't need to
You're
use magic
poisoned,
on me.
and poison enters your system. It's only going to get worse.
All right.
So I'll give you 5. Will definitely get rid of the poison. I'll give you 10 on top of that. So I'll give you 15.
And you're actively removing these.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You watch as you're laying on hands. She kind of, you can see kind of the jaw clenching as she pulls this thing, and as she does, you can see that every other, every inch or so down the side, a barb, and as she yanks this barb out of her, kind of, you can see stifling what scream is trying to lurch up. The last of the 4 comes out, and you can see though that these things just beaded with this resiny sap-like toxin. Laying on hands, though, you are neutralizing.
I'm neutralizing the poison, and I'm giving her 10 hit points on top of that.
So I just take 10 hit points, right? And then remove the disadvantage.
Yep, you are no longer poisoned per the
Okay.
condition.
Well, so Cat.
And I just want to be clear, you guys have backed into the companionway to do this.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Out there, they have the advantage. If we can get them in here, hey, now we got the advantage. Not saying they're not deadly, but out there we're sitting ducks. And here, if we can lure them in here, we might be able to catch ourselves a wyvern.
You got crazy eyes.
Yeah, I was about to say, Kel's ready to get himself a wyvern.
I got protection from poison rocking right
He's
now.
all like,
And you are fully privy to this conversation because the door to the captain's quarters is just around the corner from the base of the companionway. So
oh, son of a. Okay. Ollie got an 18 for what it's worth.
okay, as he noses at the air from this distance, and given the expanse of the cavern, he can't pick anything up inherently. He does, however, know the musk of these wyverns from. So I mean, there's kind of a general sense, but in terms of going like, there's one. It's kind of just too broad of an area, but
Okay.
but he certainly knows.
Can I
what
put him on
scent
high
he's
alert
looking
for it? If it were to be within his radius,
Okay,
kind of a thing.
I'll say Given
We have a
your
net,
interactions with Kali and Xerxes,
We do have a net.
he has an idea of
Yeah.
what to be looking out for.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can totally have a conversation.
No,
This is Kel.
I know.
Kel's wanting to capture a wyvern.
Glenn. Oh, go ahead.
I love your excitement. I didn't get a full view, but it appeared to me that they were warning us more so than getting aggressive. I mean, obviously there was aggression,
I was about to say they're pretty fucking aggressive.
but they didn't come back for another shot. The other one didn't attack. It was almost like, see what happens if you come closer. And I don't know that they'll come into the ship.
Fair enough.
As she's saying this, kind of on, postured in the triage space that you've kind of created on this little stairwell, you can still look up the companionway and out and see the other wyvern who's perched. And at this point, you can see it's completely lowered itself and kind of just slowly backed to the point that it has moved out of view at this point.
We could certainly lure it. I don't know how low it had to fly to shoot those barbs.
Were we
but
able to see the how was it like a dive bomb thing? How far away was
It did seem kind of, it swooped down and kind of slinging that tail full of quills. If you had to estimate the first moment that you kind of really locked onto it, it was probably 40, 50 feet, somewhere in that range away. And again, it was kind of swooping back upwards, back to presumably
That's going to be
some
its
kind of
tactics.
Well, you're right. I mean, we maybe Asta could shoot something at one of them, and then the other one in retaliation will come back, and we're expecting it, so we can have the net ready to throw. I mean,
That's a good idea.
I'm
Yeah,
good
that's a
for
good
that if
idea.
that's what we
So
want to try to
distract
do.
Wait, are they attacking or are they not attacking?
They're defending.
They're
They're-
defending.
That's what it feels like. This is their.
Oh yeah,
But the problem is we're going to have to face these things sooner or later.
Right. Do we want to at least let them? I need to wait.
As Keller like, and then we'll get the net
How
out.
do you do these things? Are there any crates nearby, or is that mainly in the hold?
Good question.
Pretty much. I mean, outside there was some stuff that had been offloaded, but in terms of in the vessel itself and from where you're standing, which is more or less just to the port side of the companionway, there's no evident cargo here.
Okay. Kat, hold the fort for a second, and she grabs Cal and yanks him down to the hold again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to get a crate, but I'm me, so.
So he like stands upright and flexes a little bit. I think I know what you mean.
As the rock fall.
Yeah.
Right. I need a crate large enough for 2 bodies.
Okay.
Do I hear this? I want to look over my
All right, cool.
Oh.
Yeah, all right. Which
What's
Kel will
going
find a crate that's big enough for 2 bodies.
Oh.
No questions.
I will grant that there. I mean, given the amount of time that searching this space would take, you could certainly find something. You'll probably have to unload an already loaded crate, but it doesn't take too long to find something that would.
Are there any rations in it that I could stow while we do?
This seems to contain gear exclusively. You can see some surplus rope, some surplus. I mean, it seems to be all surplus.
Vegan
I'll
God, we're
take
such
rope.
hoarders. Like, rope? We want rope?
We need thousands
Oh my God, we
of
hope
feet.
rope is it.
And given, I mean, if you're talking about the bodies of the other crew members, these bodies have withered to the point that
So a
it
smaller crate.
we can just pack them in real
This
small.
crate would,
This'll do, Cal.
like a single coffin, for instance, would easily accommodate both of these bodies because they've withered so badly.
Okay. Yeah, I will absolutely take any rope or any trappings that I can carry, which isn't a lot, but.
All right.
The 4 barbs that I had pulled out of me, can I just stow those in the bag of holding?
Good thinking.
Good
We
call.
are
Yep.
hoarder McGee's.
We are hoarders.
We are hoarders, D&D.
We are hoarders
All right.
with a purpose.
All right, Kel, let's get the crate.
Just
Let's
so
go.
you know, from now on, as long as those are in there, anytime you reach in the bag of holding, I need
I
a
stab
die.
myself.
I need a die 20 to see if that person corrects
Oh,
themselves.
That should be
Can
fine.
we make it a dex check though? Because
Nope.
Nope.
No. The quills go into the bag of holding.
Okay, great.
All right, I'll get the
Yep.
crate that she wants.
Cal, you put those in there,
Yep.
please, and board it
Okay,
up.
do I need to roll anything? It's empty
No,
crates. I don't have to worry.
I mean, it does strike you. Maybe the most macabre thing about this entire endeavor so far is, as you pick them up, it's like the human equivalent of balsa wood. It's like, I mean, you could pick up. I mean, you literally with one hand, and rigor is set into the point that if you grab this thing by an arm or leg with one hand, you can pick it up, and it's rigid. I mean, you can like a board almost. Like I mean, they're just so. You know, we're probably talking 60 pounds max.
Wow.
And as you pick them up, you can see kind of the portion of them that had been against the ground is just completely flat. They've just kind of
Oh, sick. Oh, gross.
and kind of I was gonna say cramming them in, but it's more like loading plywood as you put a couple sheets into the box. The bodies are in.
Okay, just want to make sure they're contained. There is something fishy about them.
Yeah, that's fine. I want to. Should we capture a wyvern or should I?
Well, wait. You said they're defending. You want to catch one?
Yeah.
All right. What if you call out the horde?
We see 2.
You see 2.
I don't have any evidence to support that there's a army of wyverns.
But were we told that they have nests? Or, I mean, aren't
They do have nests, but I don't think that means they travel in packs. I think we might be looking at the pack
Do we
right
know
now.
anything about wyvern behavior in that regard?
I mean, nothing about this aspect.
Well, the
of it.
question is, should we kill it, run away, or should we capture it? Those are our 3 options.
Should we tell
Captain Draco?
the Tempest?
I don't know, Miss Sending. I don't know if we should.
Oh.
Scal does not understand what he just asked because he's intelligence of 6.
Well, I mean, we could try with the plan to lure one out.
Yeah.
We know
You could
the
talk
plan.
to them.
I could.
We could also talk to them.
I've only been able to seduce them once they're captured, though. After that, it's on.
Seduce.
I don't know if you were witness to what I had to do for you last time.
I'm sorry, what happened?
Nothing.
We were just having a pleasant conversation.
I will shine a light on the fact that at this point there are no wyverns present that you can see or otherwise.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we should just fucking
the
beeline it.
The one
Yeah.
that had kind of thrown the quills and presented this has since backed off. Now again, you have firsthand seen how effective of an ambush predator these are. So for all you know, there's a half dozen more of them all sitting around the ship. But the one that had acted in an aggressive manner towards you has since backed away. You have not seen any additional indication of movement.
Remind me when we had our chat with the captain, the females are barbed,
Yeah,
correct?
we're dealing with females.
We're dealing with 2 females working together. We just don't know enough
We
about
know the one that shoot the barbs is definitely female.
Okay.
What
The
is the one-
females are quilled. The male has more of a singular scorpion
Mhm.
stinger.
And we don't know what the one that
We're
called
not
out
sure.
was.
We're
Okay.
not sure.
Okay. One. I think for now, well, we could just take the condor, can't we?
Can we fly the condor?
Can you?
I want to
kn-
try.
I know how to fly things.
Plus, like, hey, man, we spent how long getting a fucking rug out of one place? We have a freaking airship right here we could take control
I'm just
of.
saying we could take the condor back to the Tempest, warn them,
Let's do it.
and then
This is perfect. And you know, if wyverns are following us, the condor, we could blow the whistle. Condor could come up, blast those mother effers out of the
we
sky.
can lead the wyverns straight to them.
I think this is a win-win.
I don't think so.
If we do this, I can cast protection from poison on everyone.
Ooh,
I think
that
they're
looks
gone.
nasty. I'd like that.
Well, yes.
It is nasty.
It does take spell slots, so I don't want to do it willy-nilly.
Also, has it been 30 minutes? Can I do a small rest and use my hit dice to heal up a little bit?
No.
No. Okay.
God damn, you're
Aw.
so unreasonable.
Yeah. Well,
No, what do you think? I like the idea of taking the condor. Can we see if we can
Do you
sail
not?
it?
You don't want to? I want to try.
This would be so cool.
Do we want to go down the canyon or do we want to go back to the Tempest?
I want to go back to the Tempest first because we're in wyvern territory.
Well, why didn't you send to the captain what happened? I mean, and then we can
Well,
move
because
forward.
it takes a spell slot and I don't want to use one.
Or
What's
because
a
then
spell slot?
we could tie the Tempest, sorry, the condor to the Tempest, and now we have spoils of war.
I don't disagree there.
Yes, but we don't know about hauling ships, and we would have to clear it with the captain.
Fine. I'll do it.
Fly the ship? Absolutely.
No, I'll talk to them.
Oh, okay, cool.
But the ship is also not in tip-top shape, so.
I want to try.
And how often have we sailed? I mean,
You are.
I
Where's your sense of adventure?
Who are you?
I'm a stick
Cal.
in the mud. I tell you,
Paladin.
everything you guys want to do, I'm gonna make.
Whenever
it happen.
I just do stupid shit and assume my goddess is going to say, step in.
Okay, so minor issue here. Don't have
Then let's fly the Tempest.
Okay, but if I get within eye shot, are we that far? Like,
Message?
can we walk around the corner?
you were 60 yards from the Tempest
we are so close
as
to
the
the
crow
Tempest.
flies. You're close.
We could
condor
like-
I could
Can I
even
see him
blow
from the
the
top of the
whistle
condor?
and notify them.
Can you what?
Can
Yeah.
I
I'll do that.
see-
There's
let's
not
just do
line
that.
of sight.
There's
The
not line
rock
of sight.
breaks
I
line of
say
sight.
when
but
we're ready to
as
leave,
the crow
we're like,
flies, it
we
is-
want the
you are
condor.
very
Like,
close to the
let's do this.
No, let's do it now.
We're like so
I was so
It's
ready for
like
you guys to
right
take
here.
off and like come around and literally like
How many of
crash
us have
the fucking
Misty
thing.
Step?
Just total
That's
crash
the
and
thing.
burn.
She knows how to fly. She's a navigator.
She's never docked before. yeah.
Okay, but
We don't have to dock. We just have to get close.
What's the
Cal,
what's the play?
What are we doing?
Cal, I
Yeah.
wanna get out to where I can see them. I can tell them what's up. Hold your shield over us, and then we can come back
Don't
and
you have
decide.
invisibility prepared?
What? You don't know the.
Scary.
Quiet, you.
Sorry.
You don't know that.
You are so bossy.
I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry.
Just hold your
I'll
shield.
back off. I'll totally hold my shield for you. I'm sorry.
All
If,
right,
if we're
I'm-
going
I'm-
out there, I'm going to cast...
Yes.
All right. Protection from poison on both of you.
Thank you.
I'm going to.
There's
exit
all my
the
level
ship.
1 spell slots.
Pushing
What does
back
it do?
out, kind of, you can still feel some stiffness in the appendage that had it. You can feel kind of.
I'll get my weapon out and just like try and work it
Yeah,
out.
it's a little. I mean, again, it seems like it's improving. Stepping out and kind of peering up at the cliff faces that kind of have that, just the radiating shimmer from the heat of the sun. Glancing around, there's a kind of an unnerving notion that these things could be anywhere, but as you scan around and kind of the places that your mind are saying like, oh, that's a likely spot, you don't make note of anything that draws your eye.
I think they've retreated.
Okay. Can we fly the Tempest now? And the Condor?
No, we're going to do the plan.
All right.
All right. We're gonna scooch our way back.
Kel will take up the rear of the block action.
Okay.
Okay, the shield coming up, moving slowly back, and you guys are moving back towards the Tempest?
Yeah, I just need to get within 40 yards and I should be good.
Okay. You get to the bottom of the gangplank of the Condor, and
Oh, okay. Condor.
And-
Why did I get that? I was like, why did
and you get the sense that you're probably about 40 yards from the.
do I have
gonna
line of
miss.
sight though?
You do not have line of sight.
Okay, I need line of sight.
Okay, it's about half the distance before you
Okay.
clear enough.
Just at this point.
At this point, okay.
Yeah,
Silly
at this point, you're about 100 feet away
I'm
from
100 feet.
100
Hey,
feet.
how's it going?
I have a thing.
Po-
God.
Poking back around
Why
the
don't we just
corner, you
fucking
can see
fly
a
the
couple
Condor?
eyes
It
from
was
the
60. Oh
from
my
the
God,
deck,
this is
kind of look up in
embarrassing.
your
Can I
direction.
see Draco?
You can. He does seem to be. He has not one of the people who is immediately taking note.
I shall point at him and say, "We just got hit by wyverns. It was a defensive tactic. Just be aware."
You see, he kind of uprights all of a sudden, and it's just like you watch as he kind of like is looking around. You can see you just see he turns to Slate and kind of like.
Does he look in my direction at all? Ever?
I don't think there's any directional implication, is there?
No.
Yeah, no. He looks to Mr. Slate and you can see him kind of like
Oi, to the west. Where are we from?
probably north and west.
Okay. Oi,
I'm sorry, north and east.
to the north and east.
He kind of like his eyes drawing up, and you see him kind of play the game of like, and then like you can see he makes it, and he kind of like. And he kind of nods. He gives you this symbol and points up towards the airspace that you, you wouldn't have a recollection, but airspace over the Condor, and you can see he gestures over, and you can see that they have hauled up onto the foredeck, which points in the direction of the Condor. That they have hauled out and assembled some of the two ballistas that stay in.
I'm saying let's bring the Condor in. Again, this reinforces my plan. I want an extra airship.
Okay, but real quick, one more thing. There is a trace. I don't know whatever.
I love it.
Pointing at people.
This is how message works. Watch me point
I
that
have to
thing.
wait. I
Rubber
have
band
to.
gun.
It's my finger gun.
It's my finger gun. I pretend.
Finger gun of
You can see he kind of
Communication.
looks back, and like for a moment he feels like you probably have said something. What? And at this point you can you hear it kind of echo its way to you, but
No,
it's
I insist on doing this.
the finger gun trained on Draco.
The dead crew of the Condor.
And you can see that Slate is pointing at something and kind of tugging on him just on deck, and he kind of like.
That's right. The crew of the Condor have trace enchantments. I would keep my eye on that survivor.
Will do. You kind of
Will do.
hear it echo
Will do.
its way to you, and turning back, you can just barely make out the feeling. He begins.
All right, we'll bring the Condor around. Okay, bye.
What?
At this he doesn't necessarily look
if
up.
it's a
or
message,
engage
they
with-
can respond.
I know, but he's probably choosing not to.
Yeah, I mean, all of his responses thus far have been audible.
All right.
It's right
And
there.
most of the responses, I'll take this under advisement.
Whatever.
Basically.
Let's bring in an airship. I want to
Classic.
do
That's
this.
what a captain.
Classic
is
Draco
supposed to do.
move. All right, let's go get this ship.
Okay, I'm sorry, are we bringing this to the Tempest or are we going
Yep.
into the
You
canyon?
don't know. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking bring it to Tempest, but do you want to fly this mother effort into the thing?
No, I thought we were gonna bring it in.
I thought we were
to
bringing
the
it to Tempest.
Tempest.
That's
Well-
what I was thinking.
I mean, do we have to do that now? Like, can we just do it when we get back, right?
No, we'll do it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why
let's
not
do it.
now?
Okay.
I don't know. Flying by the seat of my pants here.
This is fun.
Heading back to the Condor.
We'll go back to Condor. Make sure, Kat. Have you seen anything? Wait. Have you seen anything?
Finger gun. Finger
I'm like,
gun of communication.
Gonna finger
She's all
bang,
getting a
bang
feedback
you
loop where
into
she's
my
getting it
lap.
via the spell, but also you're right there. So she's hearing both versions. There's like this weird reverb.
At 26, have I seen anything?
You have not.
Okay.
They're
No.
you kind of eyes trained, keeping an eye on everything. It is.
Now that I
it
know
is
what to look
remaining.
for, I haven't seen anything at this.
Okay,
Juncture.
should we take the ship deeper in or take it back to the Tempest?
Well, my feeling is if we're running out with,
Rock, paper, scissors.
so when we if you're running away with some hostages, you're usually being followed, right? So if we're running out with wyvern eggs, we might be being followed. Hey, the going's good right now. If we're gonna take this thing, let's take it now, and that way, if we need to make a quick escape, we don't have to worry about this.
That's a good point. You made a good
I tried to make it not intelligent. I don't know if that.
Uh,
I also
Cat-
like
Cat-
being-
Cat-
you are tactical.
Cat
Yeah.
Cat just starts climbing the main cell to drop it.
I'll go ahead and
Cal, loose the lines.
Okay.
I'll loose the lines.
Okay. As you grab the lines, loosing them from over the rail,
Wait, did we decide where we're going?
To Tempest.
To Tempest.
Okay.
the ship
make sure the
begins
navigator-
kind of
We're gonna go deeper in the
listing
canyon.
away from the listing away from
Wait,
the
would you
rock.
raise the plank? The guinea plank?
No.
It goes, and you see it kind of down into the canyon and kind of.
It's all right. It's fine.
Whoops.
You hear it splinter off. Katarina, who is up top, you're loosing the sails. There is basically the main sails and the top sails on both. This is a sloop, so it's just a single mast. You don't have two separate masts.
How much wind are we talking here? Because if this is more of a finesse than like
Right now, there's
a big movement.
Right now,
so-
there's probably 10 knots that pull through the canyon. It's kind
Should I
of
just
a,
go ahead and fly the jib
a
then?
regular. You do whatever you want to do.
Let's go. You know, I don't know if that's equivalent to the top sail or not on a tall ship. But
No, but if you just you unfurl the head sail.
Yeah.
It kind of builds.
jargon.
I know, right? You fucking
And,
captain.
you suddenly feel the ship kind of it grabs and begins moving.
Is there enough room to turn it in the canyon here?
The
I love the word
for this ship, there is a pretty substantial amount of room in the
Oh,
canyon.
thank God.
It's
I will,
fairly smaller than.
Cast guidance on Aster. 1d4 on any ability check.
Okay. So we list away.
You begin kind of slipping away from the rock face itself as the head sail kind of billowing out, and you feel it catch and kind of pull, and that begins kind of pulling you lateral to the canyon, or I should say perpendicular to the canyon itself. Kind of the bow of the boat begins pulling around.
That's the way I want it to go.
Ultimately, I guess yes. If you're looking to spin the thing 180 degrees,
I think so.
That's
my plan.
if you're going back to the Tempest, as it kind of
We just leave.
Surprise, bitches!
as it
We're going
veers
in.
off,
We're
Life
going
as
in.
farmers.
you kind of catch the main pull of air that runs through, and you can feel now the bow really wants to start dragging in the direction of the Tempest, if that's where you're going. But you can feel like as you're on the wheel, a bit of an unnerving rate of pull as
Maybe
just
not so much sail.
Okay, so cleaning the sail.
Okay, reeling it back. Give me a dex check from actually both of you.
Can I make it arcane? No, it's dex. Don't
If
mind.
you wanna use the ability,
within,
Well, I thought that was a skill.
no, it's a saving throw.
Yeah. Oh.
It's not an ability though.
Oh, thank
So
goodness.
It's not a like.
So much better.
It doesn't work.
No, that's what I mean.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yeah,
yes.
that would be a
All right.
This is just a check, not a
Dexterous.
saving throw.
yes.
Okay. Dexterous.
Do not witness her.
Do not.
This is the opposite of witnessing.
Can I lucky that?
Yes, you
you
can. Yes, you can. It's broke as shit.
Whoops.
The one time Kel's not upset about the lucky feet
I know,
being in the-
right? I have the life of the
Oh,
whole,
what
all the
did you do?
rollers.
19.
That's
9, which is better than 1.
Far better.
and you don't help me with this,
So,
right?
keep
The guidance doesn't help me with this, right?
1d4 to ability check. This is not a. Is this ability check?
No.
Okay,
But,
then we're
so
good.
11.
And I'm sorry. Yes, this is an ability check. That's my mistake. Yep. So you can add a die for it.
Oh, heavens.
What happens to me?
As you feel
I-
the goddess of Elstrahi with her rocking bod touch you upon the shoulder.
I feel so motivated.
As you should.
We'll see if
How rocking
we'll
her
see if
bod is.
a die for.
Hey, this is. I don't know.
1!
It's
12!
it's a slightly rocking bod.
You can feel.
I'm just not turned on by it, is all.
There is a.
What's wrong with you?
As you kind of furl in the head sail as best you can, you can hear Aster kind of calling out like little less, and the bow kind of, now you've swung 90 degrees. Now you've swung
We're too far.
120 degrees. Now you've swung 180 degrees. So you're more or less pointed back down the canyon, and that head sail kind of billows, and you begin traveling. You could see kind of pulling back against some of that pull. The ship, instead of turning back upwind, just seems to begin kind of listing. And those two kind of main rock arches that divide the line of sight between you and the Tempest, the ship is slipping reasonably aggressively, increasingly, I should say, aggressively. You're probably at maybe 3 knots now, but given the scope and scale of this
Endeavor.
doesn't feel slow. I mean, that doesn't sound that fast.
You're
but
still at the lines. Are there any... If we need... See if you can lasso something that
Kel
we can
will,
slow down.
I have some javelins. I'll tie a javelin, rope onto javelin so I could throw it.
Okay. From the side deck. So
We're good at this now.
Yeah.
What
just
are
think-
we doing?
are you throwing it or are you waiting?
I'm
you
waiting
should-
to like, okay, we're getting, yeah.
Okay. The ship.
Can I correct?
Now, pulling back as best you can to correct the ship. Like I said, it's begun listing. It's kind of traveling this crab walk fashion slightly towards those arches, 100 feet, 80 feet, 60 feet from those arches, railing against that. Give me your strength.
Strength?
Yep.
You already used my guidance. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a one-time thing? Okay.
And you could see, like, you can move the wheel, but with all of that load up in the head sail, the
It's not a crit miss.
It's not.
keeping it.
Ooh.
That's 2 luckies. Oh, what time of day is it? It's
Talk
still
about-
mid-morning.
It's after. It's
This
just afternoon.
This is what the DM does? No, that's what the DM does.
Except for we
I didn't-
decided
I
to
did not
take the
expect-
ship.
To be draining this much, or this is going to be a
Well, you weren't expecting us to do this anyway.
no. I mean, this is
Um.
this is a glorious utilization of abilities. Is that keep or are you?
It's fun. I like fun.
Kel, I think we should switch.
Kel will plant the spear so I can like, get it if he needs to and runs up there. But I
Okay.
mean, I can't help at this point.
What was your total?
Are you keeping it?
2. Pulling back on it, and you can feel this slight uptick in the gust as the bow wants to lurch even further in the direction of the stone arches, and kind of yanking on it. You feel kind of your frail wizardly arms give out as you. I mean, just your grip kind of fails as the wheel. You watch the wheel kind of begin winding. Kel charging forward. Give me a strength check. But as you are charging forward, you watch as the ship lurches heavily and closes
Fuck.
40 feet
Can
20 feet.
I know, but
pull the head sail in?
I want to do a thing though.
Okay, pulling.
Can I pull it in all the way?
Yep. And at this point, given your last sail handling, you've already reefed it in enough that it's an easy draw in now. But the momentum of the ship is still carrying.
Is this athletics or just pure strength?
Pure strength.
18.
Charging forward in proper Little Mermaid fashion.
That's
the
right.
wheel, it's kind of catching the wheel in a full stop.
Do you have
can
like
feel
hair at all that can float in the wind? Because
it's definitely.
is your hair long now? Like what is it now?
It's always been kind of tight braid.
Okay,
as
so
it
it's
flows freely.
fluttering.
All of a
In the
sudden, it
wind.
explodes out of its brain.
You catch the wheel
I know the band just pops off.
suddenly stopping. You feel the bow stop pulling as you drive it back. It straightens up just in time as it makes contact with the
We're
rock face.
fine.
I need an
We're
acrobatics
fine.
check across the board.
Did we boop it a little bit? Did we give her a boop?
Is this
I'm
athletics
gonna-
check?
Acrobatics.
Oh, yay. The one
Okay.
thing I can do. Okay.
Acrobatics.
Physically, I should say.
Is this saving throw? No.
This
Shut up. I need everything I can get.
I know.
7 on mine.
14.
19.
Both Kel and Aster thrown from their
Aw.
feet, kind of stumbling forward. You over the wheel. I mean, like it gut checks as you comes just straight over off the foredeck and down onto the lower
Giving me some points of damage. Fuck you, dude.
for 8.
Yeah.
Can the Tempest see
Damage.
us now?
You have not come around that
Hopefully
corner
not.
enough
Oh,
to.
thank God. By the time we are visible, we
A-
have to get our shit together.
I know, right?
A few things happen in that moment. As the bow of the ship hits, you watch as the sprit of that ship first kind of, you get the initial hit, bends upwards and then fractures off, and you watch as the head sail, which
Uh-oh.
luckily now she's pulled in, but you watch it fracture off, the spinning off into
This is slide.
towards the canyon, looping around and clattering against the side of the ship. The whole ship lurches to a stop via the bow. The stern, with that momentum wanting to push forward, continues swinging. And as the stern hits the side, you can hear kind of a heavy shift and of something down below. And you suddenly see the back of the ship explodes. You watch the transom. I mean, we're talking probably a 10-foot hole blast into the ship. A second, a series of explosions kind of working their way down.
Are they?
Tempest.
Down the
Wait,
ship.
are we getting shot?
Kel's fumbling for his whistle.
Are we
No.
getting shot? Wait, what's
Are we,
That's
are
what
we
it
getting
feels
shot? Or is
like.
it
We're
coming
getting
from
shot,
the turret?
right?
Is it the internal like cannons or
Oh
something?
yeah, this feels like it's a tempest opening up on us.
Is
Uh,
the
Is
Lividium
it coming from
exploding?
our
Like,
ship?
what's-
Do we hear a ring from the like?
You do not. You
Oh.
can tell pretty clearly something inside the ship has exploded. You watch as the back flies out, the next, and Kel, you as kind of getting up and looking back over the wheel, you
Yeah.
can see this line of explosions are running their way up the deck in your direction.
I've been wanting to do something.
Also, how do we get
Aster,
off
who
this thing?
now you are on the ground, having
Ground?
well on the deck, I should say,
Okay.
having fallen over from the impact.
Okay, so yes, so I gave the wheel to Kel. I run towards where he was with the lines, fall in the process. But I'd like to cast Mage Hand and get one of the lines hooked on a like stalactite or some rock.
Okay.
With
The hand kind of whirring off
Holding
with this
on.
line. You kind of turning back, you staring at Kel. Katarina, who is further forward, having tended the head sail, the only one who she kind of like timed it, and then just jumped, and it was like everything happened, and she just kind of like landed and was like, sweet. But you glancing back can see Aster sending the hand off, can
Okay.
see Kel getting back up and kind of looking back, and
To me!
the
Is it-
deck begins splintering up
Is
as
it?
this
It's shooting up through the bottom, or is it shooting out of the side of the?
every
In
which
all
way.
directions.
Yeah, the back of the ship is gone at this
Apparently
point.
it's volatile.
Is this carrying nitroglycerin?
Cat's gonna
Jesus.
kill us.
But so watching that, you see the hand take off, and you can see this line kind of uncoiling out, pulls taut, and you can see the hand working that portion of the ship just vanishes into splinters. And I need one action from everybody because this line is just
Okay.
the ship is vanishing as you guys are on deck. Like,
But I
you
did get it secure. Did it get secured?
It's secured to a stalactite or a rock or something. The portion that was secured to the ship doesn't exist anymore. It just.
So it's like a flailing rope, but I was holding the rope.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood that. So yeah.
So I was holding one end and the hand
Oh,
was
okay.
and
I thought it was
saying,
tethered onto the deck there. Okay.
Yeah.
So holding that
I
in
knew
hand.
the ship was lost.
Yeah.
I was trying to
Gotcha.
trying to get the
No, I misunderstood that. So tying on, you're holding it there. You kind of give it a
to
tug,
me.
and you can feel that it is taut as the mage hand kind of. It gives you you see it kind of, and then it goes.
Son of a bitch.
Mage hand is a little asshole. Everyone knows that. But Cal,
Everyone.
with
It's
you
lore.
with you being the closest
Yeah.
to the line of explosion, again, as you get up, you look back and you can see the transom go, the
Right.
quarterdeck go. You're probably 10 feet from the helm itself, and just aft of the helm, you watch that deck go up into splinters as you've got. Everyone's got one action, and I'm going to take them from aft to 4.
Do we have
Okay.
a full turn, or is it I don't know what 5e standard
One
action?
action.
One
Well,
action.
we're gonna kind of run this more as like a skill challenge. So you can just tell me what it is you want to do, and it's not a turn structure per se. So, what do you got in mind? You're watching the ship evaporate.
My original idea was I take the rope from Aster and I cast Blessed on my teammates.
Okay.
So I'm holding the rope, I'm the anchor, and we're all blessed.
Okay.
With how close are we to the rock edge?
You're probably what set this all off was the stern of the ship actually hitting that edge. So you guys are quite close to the edge of the rock.
Can I have
But with
Gwen
that,
just jump to the
you watch she kind of bounding off,
just
just
saves herself?
full blown claws into the
Yeah.
rail, and you watch as she leaps off of the quarterdeck as that portion of the deck
It's glorious.
goes up in splinters. She does not look back because
Gwen.
Fuck you all.
and so you watch as she clears, but you can see
I've
that
died for you enough fuckers.
it's your turn, motherfucker.
How many times have
I'll
I
call
died?
you back.
Can we throw the loose end of the rope to Kat? Is she far away?
I was gonna say
She's all the way at the bow, but so Kel charging forward, he gets to you. He basically puts the hand out, grabs the
yes,
rope.
you and I hold the rope,
And
and we need to throw
Now,
the.
what's the range on your bless? Because she's all the way at the bow.
Okay, Bless is 30 feet.
It's this little guy, right? It's a little one.
Yeah,
It's a little guy.
Can I hold my action until she gets within 30 feet and then cast it?
I'll grant that she's just within 30 feet.
Bless
If she was
you.
tending the head sail, that
Hey.
would have been pulled back to the end of the foredeck.
Bless you.
Oh,
Thank
you.
All right, so we have 1d4
a
to saving throws.
non-antagonist DM.
Can I
DC
upcast this
relationship.
shit? Because I'm gonna have to anyway. Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, so I have to upcast
Sorry.
it, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Uh,
And then
coping.
my,
he
for
takes
my
the rope
action,
with you standing right beside him. What do you do?
I'm
Hilarious.
holding onto the rope, and Kel is hopefully holding onto me.
I was hoping to hold on. No, I don't want to hold on to you.
Okay.
I'm holding on to the
Yeah,
fucking
he's got the rope as well. You can still maintain.
Okay.
There's
Holding the
enough-
rope,
Let's make this
and
clear.
I'm using my attitude, like sassy pants mage hand, to take the other end of the rope to Kat.
What?
Untie the end that's there and
No,
take
no,
Yeah.
no. Wait, to the ship end. Sorry.
There's one end that's tethered to shore, and then
Yes.
you and Cal are holding on to the other end.
Oh, I thought there'd be like extra slack.
There probably is. It's probably a 50-foot line. So,
Oh, could you get the mage hand to Cat, the other end to Cat?
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, so you want to pick up the slack and try to get it over to Cat?
Could the mage
With
hand
the-
even tie it around Cat?
With the
you
distance
have
it's
to
gonna
get
have
it
to
to
travel,
her
because
first.
it's all the way tied on shore. It's not gonna be able to get to
Can
her.
I help her then? Is that a help to
Ooh.
get it partially to her?
I'll grant that the mage hand can lend some aid in her.
Can it like if she jumps and like wherever she goes,
give me
it can
give
get
me
to
an
her?
Arcana check for it.
Okay.
Because I'm not just gonna. I'm so not a fan of just the help. Now you have advantage. So I'll base how much help on this Arcana check.
We disagree on that. We need a split screen episode about that.
The help action?
Yeah.
Bring it.
20.
20, okay. The hand kind of finishes giving you the finger, and then like you see as like you recommand it, it's like, yeah! And like immediately flies off, scooping up the tail end of the rope and begins kind of making its way up deck, but does not get, it gets as
Right.
far as it gets. It probably,
The idea
probably
being,
about
like,
splits the difference.
if
About
she
10
has-
feet away from her.
Okay. So if she has to jump, if she excels, great. If she shanks it, that it would try to meet her.
Okay, it's
And
headed in her direction.
And,
as-
okay.
Yep, it's pulled some of that slack a little more taut in
There
her
we go.
direction. Jumping over to you, what would you like to do with your?
I just want to make sure it's not a sheer cliff face. There's an actual. Is there somewhere to land?
Fuck your road.
Yeah, I mean the
This was a terrible idea.
the transom of the ship, I mean, hit on the face that you had been anchored to originally.
Yeah.
Well, the bow hit, I should say, first on those arches, but
And it's
so
Without
yeah,
looking.
about
Doesn't
midship on, and that's rapidly dissolving. But about midship on, there's a
Is it possible
a
to?
ledge which you could, if you wanted to leap from the vessel, is
Is it
viable.
leapable? I mean, is it within leap breach?
Looking at it, it's probably. I mean, while you're slinking away a little bit, it's probably 20 feet, but with also maybe a 10-foot drop. So it's. I mean, looking at it, it doesn't strike you as something you couldn't pull off.
Seeing the line that Aster and Kel are holding on to, does it have a substantial tail that I could grab?
The hand is charging in your direction with it.
Can
It
I-
pauses for a moment. You feel like it could have gone further, but it pauses and all. Dicking it.
I'll run up to it, if possible, grab it, and then go for a jump onto the ledge.
It's one or the other.
Oh, okay. Then I will hold on to the rope.
You do you.
Yeah.
Whatever you think is best.
I don't want to die.
No, have fun.
Turning back,
I
you
mean, she's getting help.
charge towards the
Same.
hand.
She's blessed.
Grab it,
She's-
tie it around. Well, you probably don't have time to actually tie it around yourself. You basically get to the rope,
Do a couple loops on my hand just so it's.
and you're watching as the ship kind of hits a series of explosions that run down the deck. Seeing as no one opted to actually get off the deck itself,
No.
you brace, and just a shower of splinters all around you as the condor just begins evaporating into nothingness. And I don't even need a check.
And the
Gwen's
Rovers
safe. The important
die.
thing, Gwen is safe.
Gwen's also like, "Nyeh."
Ollie's like
everything's really like sassy today. You can just,
Ollie's
get a sense-
just like floating above us, just like what?
you can see he's just like treading water. He's all like, what should I do? What should I do? For 20 fire damage is kind of the
All of us?
everyone.
Is this magical damage?
It is not magic.
Damn it.
As
Can I
the
uncanny
between the
dodge?
splinter
I mean,
of
probably
ship,
right.
Yeah, that's a
And-
basic. That's
I think it's
for
on
sure.
an attack.
You're right.
Oh.
But
Let's
you
do
basically feel this
ship.
engulfing. I mean, the swell of heat and bracing against it as best you can. You suddenly feel nothing beneath your feet, and all of you kind of dropping. Feel the rope go taut as you swing, pendulum, boom, slamming into the
That felt good.
slamming into the cliff face. Go ahead, and I need a strength check. I'm sorry, an athletics check from
Oh,
everyone
God.
holding the rope.
Before we do that, I need to roll a concentration check.
Oh God.
Yes, sir, you do.
For what? The bless?
And you
We're
no
getting
longer
ex-
are blessed.
Okay.
We're getting
Oh,
exploded in fire.
You are still within my aura.
Which is plus
But
one.
that's only for saving throws. This is not a saving throw. This is athletics check.
Athletics.
so
Doesn't give you anything. I don't do jack or
All
dick
right, so
for
we
you
all
right
need
now.
to see if we're holding on tight or.
You slam into the cliff face.
I'm gonna make it an Arcana check because like I'm
That's a
like
smart
floating
play.
Oh,
That is
man.
a smart play.
Sorry, athletics, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I got
15.
Oh God, 11.
With Arcana, huh?
Wait, no. Yes.
How is that possible? I thought your modifier was 11.
I know it's.
Are you keeping it? Is the question.
What are you giving? What are you?
I have
the
21.
athletics is to dodge the wall.
I need to put more airships, just random airships in the game. Like
This is fun as shit, though.
Pre
I wanted-
going
If we-
into an actual
if we
combat
survive
scenario, I
this, it's
definitely
fun.
like you find an ancient tomb. There's an airship parked outside.
Let's steal
Guys
it.
will take-
One day
It
we're gonna
ex-
learn how to actually
It
sail this thing.
explodes.
How are we supposed to know
Okay.
it had a nitroglycerin
Yeah, it
in
was
its hull?
freaking.
Oh, it touched.
Why did we even
Was
take
it like booby trapped or something?
Because it's better now than later. Imagine trying to do this as we're running away from wyverns. This would be way
Oh my
worse.
god, this would be horrible.
This is
Team.
comedic right now. This could be like TPK if it's just later.
No.
Still might be.
All right,
It's fun.
a recheck. You are
15.
15.
24. Yeah, I'm lucky that fuck. I'm lucky
No, that was the lucky,
So you can take the highest of the two.
which is 4.
Just
Yeah.
better than 2.
You have one more. Are
It's
you?
11. No, I don't. No, yes,
Yeah.
I do.
You do
Yes,
have
you
one
do.
more.
Luke,
11.
do it. This is life or death. I hate to say
It's
it.
not life or death. I featherball.
Yes, technically you could survive.
I would survive.
Talk about splitting the party. You hear the screech of wyverns. You watch 9 of them dive in. Their plan worked perfectly.
They'll want to take the ship and be terrible at
I
sailing.
told you
and
these
then
are some
die.
clever girls.
They knew we'd steal the.
They built the ship as a trap.
What's their intelligence? 19. Oh!
Okay. This is my last lucky.
You got this, baby. Witness her!
She one hands it and just like,
Starts banging out some reps.
wraps it out.
The rope, this kind of pendulum, and you keep thinking like, oh, we're about to hit, and you swing a little further, and like, oh, we're about to, and it starts getting concerning because they're like, you feel like, okay, I could have managed that a second and a half ago. I could have managed that 2 seconds ago. And suddenly, wham! As you slam into it, you being so close to Kel, he kind of has one arm, a boot, kind of whatever he can hooked in with you. You've got a lot more to grab onto than just a rope. Cat further down, as you slam into the wall, you feel the rope kind of begin whipping through your hands. You can feel kind of the blisters begin immediately emerging, screeching to a
Holding
halt
on for dear
with
life.
the exact save necessary you watch as kind of you jut to a stop, and looking back, just see kind of cliffs of insanity level drop.
Cliffs of
Cliffs of
insanity.
And you make note of the 8 inches or so worth of tail
That's
left
left.
hanging as you kind of grit against the pain in your hands and all begin kind of foisting your way up. I'm just keeping those rolls for your getting
Okay.
back up
Okay,
onto the.
thanks.
Sweet.
As you guys haul yourselves back to the top, you arrive at the top to see
What did the Tempest see from
Goran and Slate literally standing there. In fact, as you break top, they begin helping hoist you up.
there? Oh my god.
Hey, buddy.
What the fuck happened?
It was a booby trap. It was really bad.
It was, yeah, we barely survived.
It was
Kat just starts walking past them. She's leaving.
Those wyverns,
inside
man.
check.
You gotta watch out for those wyverns. They are clever girls.
You see that like Goran's expression tweaks a little bit. Where's the condor? He kind of glancing around, and you, for the first time, are glancing around, going like, "There's got to be something of it here."
Well, right there and there.
And you can actually still
there,
see like
there.
particularly small pieces of wood are still kind of adrift in the wind as it the cloud that had been the condor kind
It's
of
like a nuclear. It's
Just-
a mushroom
just-
Yeah, do they see a mushroom cloud behind the canyon?
the space, and you could see that the two of them kind of look at each other, look at you. Well,
It was a fucking booby trap. Honestly, you shouldn't. Yeah, we're good. We should.
I guess if it was that dangerous,
Really bad. Really bad.
good work all around.
Indeed. All right, let's go get some
It's no
wyverns.
longer hazard.
He kind of clapping Slate on the shoulder, who takes him a little bit longer to pull his attention away from the dust cloud
Insanity.
that was. Both of them begin heading back, and as they get about half the distance, It's all right. It was a booby trap. Wyvern set a trap. As they
Not
push-
set a trap. Cal, can I
push
take
their-
a look back to see if any wyverns were all like...
Yeah, can we?
you get the sense that they have made themselves scarce. Like this is not probably a common occurrence in terms of.
It's like a train wreck, though. You can't look away.
It was you could see a few of them peeked over. They're yucking it up from the top of the. As the two of them begin heading back, you guys kind of take a brief account. Jenny coming up, kind of nuzzling against you. She seems to appreciate that you're not dead.
Yeah.
That was a reasonable plus. You guys kind of gathering yourselves. You said you were just walking on. Where are you headed to? Away from the Tempest or toward the Tempest?
I will head towards the cavern.
Okay. You head off. Are you actually entering the cavern?
Yeah.
Okay. As you push into the cavern space, which has maybe it's been described to you, maybe not. She has kind of scoped this with the arcane
Yeah, she
eye.
had mentioned.
But this almost perfectly circular entryway into this cavern, other than that, seems quite natural. But as you take your first steps into it, looking around, it opens up quite substantially, and you can see that the pathway hugs the right-hand wall. Despite being inside a cave, there's a pretty substantial drop off this ledge, and you can see just littered with stalagmites coming up. So it's kind of you look down and kind of go like, ooh, that wouldn't be good. And this is coming off of your recent bout with...
I was gonna say, just as I turn the corner, it's like just a decompression of the fear of death.
It never goes
shudder
away.
comes out, and kind of as you're hanging in that moment, your eyes kind of tracing through this space, you can see, albeit so worn they're barely recognizable, some what might be petroglyphs or slight carvings that hang in the wall in the space. Some little touches of ancient civilization.
Painfully, I'm gonna pull out Lightbringer and light it and lift it up and
And it's
take a look at it.
low light in here, so you do have a little bit of visibility, but holding it up, you can see again petroglyphs that to the naked eye, again, it's hard to even tell what exactly it is you're looking at, but it's definitely, for lack of a better term, man-made. Something with intelligence has added its mark to this space.
I will study it until the team approaches, if they do.
As you sit there kind of looking at it, you watch this cat just kind of
Beeline.
like a little rigid as she makes her way in. You watch as she disappears into the cavern. The two of you guys standing outside.
Change of plans, probably.
We win some, we lose some, right?
It's a good effort. It's a good effort.
Yeah. Next time you do it, I'm sure it's going to go better than that.
I will.
Because you've piloted the Tempest before.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know either, but we're going to be fine.
I think she's really mad at us, though.
What?
You should probably apologize.
This cat mad. As Kel becomes suddenly worried, like, because he's just elated he's alive. Yeah, is he mad?
Do I intuit that she's mad?
You feel a nod from Jenny, like under your head as you're scrubbing her. You can see she's all like,
God damn it. All right. I'll go apologize. What did we do wrong, though? We made it out alive.
What am I saying sorry for? Perfect Kel moment. Are both of you guys headed towards the cavern together?
Yes.
As Kel will lift,
We're like whispering amongst each other.
Kel will lift
Like,
Aster and put her on Gwen.
Okay.
Aww.
Riding along, you can see
I scruff her.
and she's all like, she's having a hard time just getting a good stride going because it's just like, it's so nice to, but as you guys kind of push your way in, you turn the corner and you can see that probably about 15-20 feet into this cavern, along one of the walls, Katarina is kind of casting the light from Lightbringer along that wall and kind of studying, and immediately, well, at least your interest is piqued.
I think Kel is something he wants.
Kel will
dithering off. You can see, and give me an intelligence check as you look at it.
Very well. I don't know. I've been rolling like shit today.
Can I make an intelligence check?
No.
I mean, I kind of read pictures. That's my jam, so. Oh,
She's rolling. It's gonna happen.
come on.
20.
Go ahead. If you want to roll, go ahead. I'm not going to stop anyone from rolling dice, but
Sweet. I rolled a d12.
everybody rolls something.
It feels
20?
good to roll dice.
Looking at it, albeit very, again, worn, you only get little bits and pieces. You get the sense that there is something that has kind of been etched, something intelligible that has been etched here, but it's so badly worn.
Is it
It's-
lingual or pictorial?
A little bit of both. There do seem to be some kind of.
Are they like memes and captions?
It's so cryptic. But what your total was 20?
Mm-hmm.
You do get the sense that there is a few lingual elements. There are some things that have been written on that wall.
Kel will.
Hold, please. I have a.
Is it dark in here?
It's
Low light?
low light, but she's got Lightbringer up right now, so you have a little bit of effectively torchlight.
Can I pick up a rock and cast light on it? And I'll give it to Aster. Here, this might help you.
Oh.
And now you basically like a beam. Hey,
And thus the flashlight was born.
I know.
basically. Hey,
Flash rock.
hey, Cat. I'm sorry. I messed up back there. I'm sorry.
Aster's way over there.
Cat continues to look at the petroglyphs and then puts the sword down and then just keeps walking forward.
Can I cast as a ritual comprehend languages? I will be very distracted.
Go look at Gwen like.
Which
What are you doing?
allows me to
10 minutes?
the ritual time? I assume
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
I
I just want to make sure that you
Yeah.
did say ritual. I just want
yeah,
to
I'm
confirm
very
that. Yep.
very distracted.
Very
Yeah.
distracted.
She kind of full blown. You do need to make
I
contact with it.
need to
so
touch it, but
um,
anything that is written.
as you place your hand on it and begin kind of immediately as you place your hand on it, you feel this course kind of as you're going through the motions of this ritual of the time that has transpired. This is old, like
pre,
unbelievably old.
oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. What is the native tribe here?
Ayuka.
Ayuka. So pre them old?
Well, I don't think you know how old the Ayuka are. So,
Fair.
but it's. I mean, you've interacted with a lot of ancient artifacts and things like that, and this really gives you a sense of scope. It would be kind of like if your bearings on time were kind of a series of zoomed out. You're starting to pull out to where other things that you've engaged with are beginning to lose their recognizable. You were getting into ancient territory as your hand places on it, kind of feeling that draw in through you. I'm going to let you conduct that as we bounce back.
I'm busy.
I'm busy. I don't hear anything.
As Kel looks at Gwen and she's like, no, Cat, no, hold on. What's wrong?
What's wrong? What's wrong is that we just put ourselves in danger for no reason. And you know more than anything, I need to get back to my brother. What was that? What were we doing? It was so reckless.
How many times have we done reckless shit? And how many times have we put ourselves in danger for... We had an airship that had evidence on it.
And one of these times, Kel, one of us is going to die. All of us are going to die. We just don't need to do this. It was...
I think
Let's
focus on what we have and not what we don't have. Who died?
Let's instead focus on our mission here. Let's find these eggs so we can get going.
You underestimate yourself, Kat, and you underestimate us.
was just unnecessary, Kel.
You worry too much.
Is Esther coming? We should get going before it gets dark.
You can ignore me all you want. Blow me off all you want. That's your choice. But I want you to know, whatever comes out, whatever happens here, I got your back.
I know. Let's get going, though.
This conversation is playing out as you.
Is Kel rather pleased with himself?
There's a sense of smugness. Given his charisma, there's a sense of smugness.
He's like,
I
I
was
take
like,
it.
yeah, that was fucking fun. Like for a soldier, like that was fucking awesome.
It has been a while since he got a nice rush. And
Yeah.
this is the problem with keeping Kel in a cage for too long.
It's true. It's like a drug.
Sometimes he's gonna need to get out. He's like a Tasmanian fucking devil.
And blow up an airship. No biggie.
As that conversation is playing out and you guys are having your exchange, the last kind of bloom of light illuminates this wall, and you can see that those courses of arcane energy kind of settling into the little grooves and better illuminating what existed there. And you can see there are some, again, the pictograph portion is so badly worn, you can tell that maybe something was there. The words, however, albeit it's only a small portion of a broader passage, they read, "At dawn, Sirodune," that's SIR''ODUNE,
Can't think of anything for that one.
ODUNE.
That's pretty off.
It's pretty.
Oh, killed
This doesn't start with M.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Fair.
that was
Mirrodune.
Malodune. So, at dawn, Sirodune gave him life.
This is not good. That ain't good at all. Whenever anything gets given life, it's not good.
And you can,
Yeah.
again, you can tell that there is a fair bit more that had been written here, but it's wind and water and sand worn to the point that it is illegible.
Can I take the rock to the full length of the cavern and see if there's anything else?
You begin kind of tracing and again, you basically can only trace along the right-hand side of the cavern because there's a chasm that makes up the left-hand side.
I mean, fair.
As you are pushing your way along that right-hand side, just kind of checking it out, you can hear kind of the reverberation, the echoing conversation taking place, albeit a little bit hushed, and you're probably not.
Do they sound upset?
You probably are picking up tone only, just by nature of your investment in what you're doing.
So
and
it sounds like Kat's upset and Kel's really smug.
That's the gist you're getting.
Okay.
You're getting the gist.
Oh, he's fucking it up.
Even at this young age, there's a part of you that's like boiling on Katarina's behalf. Like, as you're kind of moving
The
along
oath.
that wall with your glowing stone, looking, you don't find any additional inscriptions. You stop though. You can see a carving, which you made note of. This is not an insubstantial carving. With the arcane eye, when you moved through the space, you had made note of a carved head, some sort of creature, and you can see kind of sloping down off of the rock, and then kind of jutting out this long. Again, it's badly enough eroded. It could be something like a wolf or a reptile. It could be a serpent. It could be, but kind of this relatively long neck and head. And you can see some places where it's chipped and fractured.
Teeth.
You don't see any exposed teeth in the carving. As you are looking it over, it's just kind of at that point that you do kind of definitively hear Katarina say, like, let's just keep moving before it gets started. Like, let's just go. Like, you can hear kind of end the conversation.
Is this with the length? Have I gone the full length of the cavern now?
This is about halfway through the cavern, but you basically kind of had to climb over the neck of this thing following that wall. And it's not until you're kind of...
Oh, it's like an actual statue? It's not just
it's,
a picture?
well, it's just, yeah, this is actually carved out of the wall. And as you're coming back is where you make note, and it's just as you're examining this, you hear Katarina, you can hear a couple footfalls kind of echoing as she turns and begins heading that way. And just as you are about to, I imagine kind of amped. You're a little on cloud
I'm in
nine.
the zone.
You're kind of holding that up as you turn back. You can see the tentacle slip its way around Katarina. You watch as one slips its way around Kel, and kind of raising the light up. You can see
Jacob Block, actually.
2 more
I can attack things when near no range.
Oh, that's true.
coming down from, but you have to be aware of
Truth.
it. Coming down in your direction.
Can I
from
dodge it?
the ceiling. We will roll initiative when we get back. Unfortunately, that is where we're going to have to end. But that is, we will pick up in the cavern.
Will this lover's quarrel be resolved? What will happen to our 2 heroes
Well, they
next
still love
time
birds,
on
find their way back to
D&D?
Blissful happiness. Thank you guys so much for joining us. That was a bit of shenanigans there for you.
A la Rovers.
Hopefully you guys are into blowing ships up, 15 feet from where you unanchored them.
I thought you were trained how to fly
I made it
ships.
at least like 30 or 40.
That's fair. I'll just say 50 feet. But no, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. If you guys are enjoying the Rakish Rovers, we would love like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you're thinking about the campaign so far. Let us know what you're thinking about these inscriptions, these pictographs. What the heck are those tentacles coming off the...
Hentai.
Many
Hentai
people
here.
ask that.
Stop! That was a surprise. Dang it. No, thank you guys so much for joining us this time.
Surprise.
Until next time, the world is yours.